I am here with Nick Vaden.
I am a part-time faculty member and instructor within the Music Business and Industry program at Northern Vermont University. I teach a few different courses, including venue management, professional development seminar, event management and promotion, and then an occasional contemporary issues or special topics course. Yeah, sure. So the venue management course that does a broad survey of all the operations related to working at a venue, running a venue. So there's a lot to cover there. The professional development seminar course that I teach, that course, it really kind of prepares students for post-college. And some students at that point have already spent time working on resumes and cover letters, and that's great. If not, that's totally fine too. We really spend a lot of time focusing on that and then talking about where to look for jobs, what kind of jobs are potentially out there within the industry, how to apply for those jobs, any kind of necessary etiquette or protocol that goes involved with like the job search. And then we talk about other things about just like being a better employee, being a better colleague, coworker, and then just other things that are geared a little more specific to the music industry. And then the event management and promotion course, that one is more specifically focusing on marketing, promoting events. Usually we have a couple real world events that are happening that we're either as a class working on or in groups working on, or we either create different shows or events for the class to work on. And then the contemporary issues course or special topics course, the one that I'm teaching currently in spring 2021 semester, that one's really looking at the touring industry from the perspective of the artist and a booking agent and anyone that's on the artist team in relation to touring. So there's a lot of information that's relevant to the DIY approach to touring, but then we're also talking about when might an artist think about expanding their team to include a manager or specifically a booking agent? What do booking agents look for in signing clients? What do booking agents do on a day-to-day basis? And then we've also been talking about how the whole touring landscape, particularly in relation to booking agencies, has shifted and evolved in response to COVID-19. I think everyone's been flexible and nimble and kind of roll with the punches as best as possible. I'm certainly looking forward to meeting in person again, and I would like to think that hopefully all the students are looking forward to, or most of the students are looking forward to that as well. It's been a different experience for sure. So like this current semester, I've been able to bring in other music industry professionals. And because everyone's so familiar with Zoom, because that's the reality for so many people at the moment, it's not a huge ask for someone to like teleconference with us and do, a Zoom session. Yeah, it's always great to have that fresh perspective, hearing from someone else that's worked in the industry, someone that's kind of gone through that process before. That's super insightful. So I've been trying to take advantage of it as much as possible, but again, definitely looking forward to being back in person on campus, hopefully sooner than later. I've been at Northern Vermont University since 2011. So in addition to teaching in the MBI program, I also work at Higher Ground, which is a concert venue in South Burlington, Vermont. I'm the talent buyer at Higher Ground, meaning that I book the shows at the venue. Higher Ground has two rooms. There's the ballroom, which is 750 capacity, and the showcase lounge, which is 300 capacity. The venue is effectively two venues in one. I've also served as the venue's marketing and promotion manager, working at Higher Ground, or really any venue for that matter. It can often require involvement or a working knowledge of all the different areas related to venue operations. So I started Higher Ground in 2005, and I've worked there since. I did. I went to the University of North Alabama where I studied and got a degree in entertainment industry management. It was my first proper job, if you will. I certainly did some independent booking and worked with some bands on managerial assistance, and did a lot of just random things. But that was my first kind of official job, if you will, working for someone else. I have a pretty broad network within the industry that includes agents at both major agencies, and also there are countless smaller boutique agencies. So working with booking agents is something I do regularly. Um, Collaborating with managers, artists, anyone else that might be on the artist team. That could be someone at a label. It could be someone doing publicity or PR. I'm also having ongoing conversations with radio, with anyone related to venue operations. So that could be the production team, the box office team, the marketing team, the hospitality team, et cetera. And then, concert goers, ticket buyers. So a pretty broad range of people that I'm networking with on a regular basis. I think it gives me insight as to what's happening in the music industry on a daily basis. There's been a lot of advancement and change within the industry. So, being involved in it on a day-to-day basis is certainly helpful for the courses that I'm teaching, and then the conversations and discussions that I'm having with students about topical issues. I think that's to everyone's advantage for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. There have been numerous times where I would like to think that I've played a small role in helping a student find an internship or a job, post college. Um, it's certainly rewarding to have students go on and have careers within the music industry, and maybe even collaborate or work with those students after they've graduated. That's always a treat for sure. I don't live in the Northeast Kingdom, where the college is based, which is a little frustrating and a bit of a challenge. So I'm not as immersed as I would like to be if I lived in the general community. And I only teach part-time 1 day a week typically. But usually we try to come up with different projects for the students to work with that are still part of the course, that maybe bring them to work on a show, say in the Burlington area or something along those lines. So I live in the greater Burlington area. So that's, 90-ish minutes, give or take, from Lyndon. Um, as far as professionally, working on shows at Higher Ground, that's pretty time consuming. As far as personal activities, I really enjoy all that Vermont has to offer, such as like the outdoors. I really enjoy snowboarding, golfing, boating. Those are a few hobbies of mine. I encourage them to, and I really hope that the students will to their fullest. I feel like that I'm relatively candid about music industry operations and kind of tell it how it is. I think that I have a somewhat relative wealth of knowledge that I can offer, so I'm more than happy to share that with students. Okay, so I actually did study music business when I was in college. I'm not sure that I thought at that point in time that I would pursue a career in the music industry. I've always been really passionate about music, and I just thought that it would be something that I would enjoy doing as a student because I was super into music. I played in various bands even before college, throughout college, and we always needed someone to book our shows, to book our tours. And I assumed that role. I feel like I have a decent business sense and I'm pretty well organized. I didn't really think of it as a job or a career or anything like that. It was just something that needed to happen for the band to play shows. Um, and then while I was in college, I started putting on shows. And again, I didn't really think of that as a job or a career. It was more just that we needed to have shows, we needed to bring in bands, or at least I thought there was interest in that for me and friends and other people in the area. And yeah, it's something I didn't really anticipate turning into a career path, but I think that's what set me on that path as far as getting involved and working in the industry. It was more just kind of being involved in it, getting out there, networking and meeting people. The only internship that I did for college credit was actually at Higher Ground. I did some intern hours there, so I could, satisfy college credit to graduate. Otherwise, I certainly jumped on every opportunity to work shows or do studio work or any kind of marketing stuff when I was in college. But it wasn't really so much about the credit necessarily. It was more just gaining that experience and meeting people in the industry. The MBI program is certainly really unique. It's special. There's a lot of opportunity for students to get involved. It's one of those things where it's like the keys to the kingdom are kind of hanging there, and the students that really want to get involved and be active within the program, within the music scene, there are plenty of opportunities for that. So, yeah, it's a really special program, and for anyone that's interested and potentially learning more about it, I think it's certainly worth your time.